I'm pretty sure I can cut the I can cut the volume off. I'm gonna have it mute in case there's recording of sound.
So what relationship, good or bad, pushes or influences you to be what you be who you are?
Yeah, in correlation to the book. And if they can connect the death and the soldiers to how O'Brien became a writer, that would be awesome. But if they can't, but they're close, it'd be good also.
Yeah.
Because we're not looking for a right answer entirely based on the book. We're looking for a overall answer that's applicable everywhere. And I have to either take math or English for extra classes on college because I suck at math and English.
Doesn't sound like you suck at it right now.
No, that's because I'm more of a... I speak a lot more than what I type, and what I type doesn't make as much sense as what I say.
Life is your father.
Sure, let's go. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with farm. I'm doing things so on purpose on this game, like making sure that I'm guiding it to where I'm going to be speaking about. It's just going to be like 10-second clips or like maybe less. Then once you're close enough, you dive and you start directing off over to the area where you want to land. Also paying attention to the altitude. And once you're in the area, you control your parachute to land near where you want to. If you're in a building, you run straight inside. You grab whatever is nearby for self-defense. Go over here with that. I'm not going to speak about what that is. And I got dead. I was watching The Corpse's Bride the other day, and social life. Were you expected to marry someone that is of high caliber at times, and if you marry someone that is below your parents' standards, you're kind of shunned because of it?
Yes. A universal theme, for sure.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just really like Tim Burton movies. Also like Adam Sandler movies. He is the best.
Have you seen The Week Of? It's on Netflix.
I don't have Netflix. The Week Of, wasn't that where he just ends up doing comedy or like?
No. It's a Netflix original movie, and it's all about it's the week of his daughter's wedding.
Oh, never mind.
Chris Rock is in it. It's really cool.
I don't know. You are like the perfect mixture of almost every single teacher I have. As in, they're all very feminist in a way. Like, they believe the 75 cents to a dollar situation. And I don't blame them. But they're also, like, very pro-activist. They really want equality on all aspects. And I don't know. Very different. Like, I don't know a teacher that would allow people to stand up or use their phones when they're supposed to be working on a project. No, it's no, because you're teaching us about the real world. Like, it's our job to have the time management skills to finish the project. You can actually BS that if a principal walks in and say if they're doing a project, it's about time management. If they can handle it.
Well, I always thought so. You know, when I was on my previous school site, I never liked to micromanage students. You know, like even down to like I don't want to give you sentence frames to use because you're 17 years old and you shouldn't have it. Do you know what I mean?
The only time I ever use sentence frames is for OPCVL, origin, purpose, content, values, and limits.
I just don't believe in micromanaging kids, like or like.
Like, you don't have a specific time your child has to go to sleep. It's more like, he falls asleep, he falls asleep.
Well, no. Small children are different.
Yeah.
Small children are different. I meant like kids, as in you're going to be an adult and you're out of here in less than a month.
I don't like to think about that yet.
And the world isn't going to manage you. You have to self-regulate.
Yeah.
Like, so certain things like crazy bathroom policies that are way more complicated than they need to be. I just never did those. I never liked doing them. Because I'm like, you're in high school.
You shouldn't be able to control your bladder.
Well, and if you know, I trust you unless you prove me otherwise. You know, I trust you to make good judgment about when you need to take care of your business and when not. Like, and sometimes your PE time is in the middle of class. Sometimes
Kayla.
It's okay. Like, I don't know. I never believe in that. I don't know. I never wanted to micromanage high school students. Because you're right. Yeah. I feel like, though,
It's a good thing and a bad thing.
I feel like, yeah, I mean, it definitely lends me to be open to being taken advantage of sometimes. But on the other hand, I regret it because it's about, you know, you guys make choices and then you deal with the consequences, which might be most often your grade. So,
Yay, I won. This is probably going to be very shitty footage. My phone isn't the fastest. I'm going to go with... I'm going to keep the sniper rifle. But I'm going to take these. It's very interesting because he's going on a different route than I am when it comes to explaining the game. Samuel, what aspect are you going for the game? Like playability or just understanding the game? See, you're going for that. I'm going for playability. So it wouldn't really matter which one of us went first or last. So I would actually say if you went first, it would actually I would kind of reinforce what you say, but you would also help me with things that I don't have enough time to say. So it would be like a cooperation kind of game. Ooh, military vest.
Didn't it tell you?
I was thinking of doing a PUBG versus Fortnite, but I'm too far into this project to change. Oh, Miss Suarez.
What do you think about, like, we live in this culture where we hold people ever so much more accountable for their private thoughts and actions. It's one thing to post online and write a blog of your own volition that then garners, discontent or makes people protest or whatever, because that's your choice, and you know that when you're putting something public out there, you are, you know that you're gonna get that. But that was your choice. But it's another thing to be in public and acting a certain way, then someone just starts filming you, and then without your permission, that goes viral, and then suddenly you're the object of criticism and derision and everything. And it's kind of like I don't know how to feel about that, because the thing is like,
Well,
it's like, when did we become so self-righteous? I'm granted now certain people are genuinely assholes, but that's just life. But at the same point, you can't sit there and say you've not been perfect in your thoughts. And do you know what I mean?
Like if a person is speaking about like I don't know, this situation. I know it's not that one.
Yeah, the lawyer dude. You heard about this one, right?
Yeah, where he ended up.
Granted, he's an asshole.
He was talking. Why are they speaking Spanish when they're so?
Total asshole. I get it.
Yeah, but I get their understanding.
At the same point, like protesting in front of his office, like, what are you protesting? He's not a policymaker. He's not. You're protesting the fact that he's a human being and he's taking air and he's alive. Like,
but if you end up not protesting, you end up actually in a acceptance. Not in an acceptance, but indifference. And indifference actually ends up.
That's what they say. We're all afraid of that, right?
It's like.
And then we all become the Nazis, and then everyone dies in concentration camps. I mean, sorry, like that's what everyone says. Is that really going to happen?
No. Well, I think the indifference is like at the beginning of the year, you were very kind of iffy about phones, like them being out, people using them, people.
I still hate them.
You still hate them, but you've grown indifferent to us using them.
Because it's May 22nd and I'm done.
So if we become to such a publication of kind of abuse, it will lead to it's like a stepladder. Like we lose distance in the movement forward.
Playing the devil's advocate, though.
Yeah. I enjoy playing the devil's advocate.
I do too. I guess that's why we get along. So there's a difference between like being in the public eye because that is your choice, because maybe you're employed with a TV station, or you're a YouTuber and you have a very public blog. Like Tommy Laharan, that one bitch, that blonde, I hate her. She's always going off on something. She's this one girl who has a blog she's always going off on. But she puts herself out there. That is what she has signed up for, because that is the nature of her job and persona. But there's something else entirely when it's just
a random person on the street.
You're a random person. You're going about your day. You're doing your thing, and maybe you have a bad day, and you have a moment of being an asshole, and someone records it. And in the world before smartphones, he just would have been that asshole that one day, and everyone would have gone about their lives. But now it's a national phenomenon, and he's like a hated person. I guess my thing is like,
but also
everyone gets so morally self-righteous about.
I wouldn't call it self-righteousness because back before smartphones happened, those people couldn't really say anything towards that abuse. Now that we do have smartphones, they are able to record it and actually express what they think is right or wrong. It's not about self-righteousness in terms of, oh, I feel happy, I'm recording them, I'm gonna post this on social media and get so many likes. It's more about look at this movement that is headed backwards instead of forwards.
Is it heading backwards? Because these people have always been around.
Well, yeah, and we're trying to move forward beyond that, moving forward from ethnicities. Oh, wait, give me a sec.
But like, I feel like we live in a world where we are so constantly looking at what our neighbors are doing and being, see, look at what they're doing wrong. Boycott this person. Let's go stand in front of this person's office. Let's go hang out in front of it. Like, see, they're blah blah blah. But then it's like, well, what about you? Why don't you focus on yourself? I feel like it's almost like, and they do this with celebrities too. Like, I feel like is it hot in here?
Yeah, it is. I haven't said anything because I'm wearing shorts.
Okay, for you, Monse, I will.
It's either the rooms. I don't want to say anything. Never mind. Nope. I heard footsteps.
Anyway, I feel like.
There you are. Yeah, 3 kills.
Hi. You guys are staring at me. Why are you staring? Do you know what? When I was a kid, my brothers used to do that. They would all like gang up on me and they would just say, let's just stare at her and laugh for no reason.
Oh, I love playing that game with my brothers.
And then I'd be like, what is it? And then they wouldn't stop until I left the room crying. And it was nothing. They just did it to mess with my head. I have a lot of stories like that. You know, when I say them out loud, it actually sounds really bad.
But I don't know, like I would understand that if it were like a fight in between two people, like just a street fight, like someone just recording it, because it has gotten to the point where we don't do anything if there's an altercation, but instead we film it for our own kind of game.
So he's publicly shamed. This is basically the modern version of the public stockade back in the Puritan times.
Sure, I'll guess.
It is. So someone is publicly shamed because that's what my point is that we now live in a world of just public shame because that Puritan thought processes has not left us. How many hundreds of years later?
Yeah, but it has changed from more like, oh, shame him because he likes men, to shame him for not being able to progress with the time, for not being able to accept that we're all different.
Can you like? I just was raised with. That's the thing. It's like I guess what I was raised with. If people are different, you're not always going to agree with them. You just whatever. It's not worth like arguing. Just focus on yourself. To now, we live in a culture of people are different, and if they don't agree with me, we must shame them into agreement.
Well,
You know
I wouldn't say.
I'm not talking about that one particular lawyer.
I get what you mean, but I think you grew up with that, right? Of being able to say if they treat them differently, it's just ignore them. But
I guess the other thing is like there's a difference between thinking a certain way and even vocalizing it in a non-confrontational way and actions.
Yeah, because
I think we've moved past like okay, because again that's what I was used to tell my kids. You can't like my students in the past. It's like you can't. We live in a country with the First Amendment, which gives everyone the right to sort of be an asshole if they want to be it. They can't act on it, and that's called a hate crime. But if they're going to think and they want to say things that's non-threatening.
Technically, the First Amendment can fall under the hate crime, especially if they end up.
There's caveats to it. In someone's life, you can't commit slander. You can't yell fire. I know stuff. But then
It's odd how you know this. I mean, I get you're an English teacher, but
How is that odd?
knowing the loophole to the First Amendment kind of thing.
That's not a loophole.
Not a loophole,
that's
but
common knowledge. It's in constitutional law, and when you get to college, you're going to take a class called constitutional law, and you study landmark Supreme Court decisions that cover those issues. The First Amendment is always an interesting issue. You take history in college, friend.
yeah, but instead of learning dates, we actually learn why, the philosophy behind it. Instead of like, oh, George Washington had slaves. Why did he have slaves? Because he was an asshole.
But that was, I mean,
He did have slaves,
he
but
did have slaves, but that was the time, like,
that was during
he
that
was a
time.
product of his generation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm not
and
saying it's right, but that was historically, factually, that was what most rich white men in the South did.
yes,
I think my point is, I think we want there to be some perfect bastion. We want of some sort of example of savior thing. We want that, and what we forget is that humans are fallible.
that's actually kind of how. If I do ever end up getting kids, I really highly doubt it though. But I could always adopt a dog. Wait, would they even? Would the adoption agency allow me to adopt as a single male?
Wait, a kid or a dog?
A kid.
Oh, probably. I don't know.
Yeah, because I know that they're perfectly acceptable to a single female adopting a child, but I haven't really heard of a single male adopting a child. Oh?
Sorry.
I wasn't aware I said something funny.
No, it was just this student of mine from last year. He posted something on my timeline that was really.
Facebook? I thought you didn't use Facebook.
I do.
I thought you didn't because they can look at your search history and give you products for what you want.
I fully recognize that they do that, but I still use Facebook.
I use Facebook, but I don't really post much on it. I like aggravating people though.
You do. You're a social troll.
I wouldn't say
Bless
troll.
you.
It's more
I
like
said it first. Just let everybody know I said it first. I care more.
Thank you, sorry.
You're welcome.
She doesn't say thank you to the rest of the people that say bless you. It's not that I feel like happy, but it's more like if they point like I saw this and it was about this African American teacher who had like a special handshake or fist bump with the students. It was in elementary school, and then a white teacher adopted it. And this guy posted it. Oh, look what white people taking the credit and proclaiming that they're better. And I'm like, dude, the white teacher is just taking inspiration. Teachers take and give stuff away. They don't really claim ownership. They're not a company. They don't trademark a certain thing.
Right.
Although that'd be pretty cool. Like if you trademark your teaching style, how would that work?
What's wrong with like shaking your student's hand?
No, there was nothing wrong with it. It was just that he said that white teachers taking credit for something that is not theirs and showing that they are all powerful. It was like a stupid post, and I had enough of that. Like, so I ended up writing a good paragraph saying, "Why the hell are you saying this? This teacher isn't saying shit about like them taking credit. It's more like." She saw this teacher doing this, so she said, "Oh, I could do this also. It might help me with my class."
I just keep thinking of all those hands who're just touching all those germs.
No,
These are like little kids. They do this all the time.
Well, no, it's more like you know how some friends have like really complicated handshake, whether it's like a handshake, bump, you go like that, snap your fingers, do a backflip and touch toes or something.
Do you have one with your
I
friends,
don't
a
have.
secret handshake?
I don't know.
I never got secret handshakes. I know the purpose of a secret handshake is so that you know that like you know each other, like you're part of it. But then you could see each other with your eyeballs. So why do you need a secret handshake to prove it?
I think blind people invented it.
Unless of course like an alien came down and invaded your body, at which point I would assume that they would.
You are now my favorite teacher for saying that.
And then they would like download the knowledge from your brain into theirs.
Unless that is incapable.
So the secret handshake is not going to protect you.
Because according to Avatar, the movie, I'm talking about the Avatar as in the Na'vi, not Airbender. No, well, the thing is that an alien can't learn something else, something new. As the Na'vi said, when a cup is full, you can't fill it up more. It's at its limit.
An avatar is like it.
It's basically a mind transfer from human consciousness to a Na'vi consciousness.
But let's assume that this is an alien. It's another life form.
The Na'vi were another life form.
Okay. So a Na'vi comes down, takes over your body.
They don't have spaceships.
And then absorbs knowledge of your secret handshake, so that then it can infiltrate your friend circle. For what purpose? I don't know. I don't know why that would be the mission of the alien to do that.
I'm not sure either. And right now,
I don't even know how I got to this point. Why am I here talking about this?
I don't know. Oh, there's a car. Should I take over the car? Should I try and shoot them down? Oh.
So I got that going for me.
I'm swimming tomorrow, and in this weather, it's cold. It's cold in this weather. I have a bolt action rifle, but I don't have a scope. Actually, I do, but it's not that good.
Now it's cold.
Well, it's your fault for not wearing enough clothes. Have you ever had a sense of deja vu, Miss Swanson?
All the time.
You know why? Would you like to listen to my theory on it? It's pretty tame.
Okay.
So, the reason I say in deja vu is because if you lived in a certain place for long enough, as a child, you memorize those places in a subconscious way. Mm-hmm. While you won't retain every single aspect, you will retain kind of the gist of it. So let's say you're driving down the road when you're 5 years old, and some guy is waving one of those sign thingies. You memorize a person's face, what the person is wearing, the sign that he's waving around. All you know is that you're going down this road, there's a guy waving a sign. Mm-hmm. Then let's say when you're 50, you go down the same road and you see the same, not the same guy, but the same person waving that sign. That is what is deja vu. It brings a subconscious memory from out of you. Like so that is my theory.
That's a pretty solid theory, actually. I could get behind that.
The other one is incarnations. You're a reincarnation that ended up viewing that same thing at the same time during the same year, or not the same year, but same period. But that would make sense because then generations tend to be close to 100 years, so it wouldn't make much sense if you saw a guy in the 80s waving a sign that said Togos, and then you see someone in the 200s.
I have a theory for past lives people claim to have. Here's my theory. Because now with new science, people are doing with DNA and analyzing DNA and just sort of like genes that get passed down.
Yep.
Science, it's not definitive, but it's a theory that memories or cultural consciousness is passed down through DNA.
Genetically, yes.
Genetically, right? So, for example, we're talking like thousands of years. And I mean, if you think about it, that makes sense from an evolutionary standpoint, right? Because if one person discovers that
they can fly.
Right, you're going to pass down that instinctive knowledge, right? Instinctive knowledge maybe gets imprinted, or you're basically passing down instinctive knowledge of healthy fears or things that you should be. It sort of led to sort of this tribal, the tribal mentality, right?
Instinct,
yeah.
Would you like to know where I came up from that theory?
But that's my theory of how maybe people's recollections of past lives, or this feeling that they have. I think it's really just an acknowledgement that your human form and all of its DNA is an amalgamation of thousands and thousands of years of human DNA in the past. If you think about it, it's pretty miraculous that you are here because thousands and thousands of years people have lived long enough to reproduce. From generation to generation to generation to generation. That's incredible.
Lucky me.
Historically, all of the things that were stacked up against people. Oh yeah, you guys should probably put away your laptops.
You know,
Good, and put them away with the correct. Please plug them in and put them with the right number. Ms. Dukelis thanks you.
would you like to know mine? This came to me while I was watching a movie called The Eye, where this girl ended up getting into an accident and ended up losing one of her eyes, and she could do an eye transplant from a dead body. She ended up getting the eye transplant, but she was seeing things from the person.
Yeah.
So it's genetic. It's like a kind of like cell memory in a
I
way.
used to bullshit my students a lot. So one year I was teaching freshmen, and you know, like blue eyes are kind of rare. And this one boy was looking at me. He's like, "Where did you get your eyes?"
Walmart.
Which I thought was such a silly question. You know, where did I get them? Like, I picked them up at Walmart. You know, so I was like, "Oh, I got them donated." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, I was born blind, and when I was about 5 years old, I had an eye transplant."
Come on, peek out.
And that's what helps me to see now. And he's like, "Really?" And then I got like this. I was like, "And sometimes I see what they see." And they believe me.
Oh shit!
Hey!
Top 7. I got shot. Oh, this one is. They're having Puppy Distress Day the 30th.
They're bringing dogs.
Yes, they're bringing dogs. The only reason I know this is because I overheard the teachers in the office. I may look like I'm not listening, but I'm actually listening.
I know.
It's so fun. It's so fun being in.
Fantastic idea. Did they do that last year?
No, I don't think so.
This is the first year they've done it?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thing is, I'm gonna get expelled because I'm gonna steal the puppies.